Hey, this is the Black Knight. Right now I'm coming to you from either A, a ghetto in Tripoli where the rebels have just taken over, B, a meth lab after a terrible accident, or C, my sister's apartment where they're tearing out the walls to remodel. I'll let you figure it out, genius. With the game I'm going to be reviewing today be more appropriate, it could be at a military base or a strip club. But guess what a strip club and a military base have in common? They both hate cameras. So I'm here, deal with it. Just in case you hadn't guessed, today I'm reviewing Nukem Forever. And with that revelation aside, I'm getting really tired of talking in this voice. That's much better. Whew. So we're talking today about a game that took 12 years in development, which was rather unfortunate for it because it was 12 years during which some of the most game-changing, pardon the pun, games that had ever been created came out. So they were always chasing the technology curve. This put people's expectations for the game into the stratosphere. People figured if it took 12 years to create this game, it had to be awesome. It had to have all the multi-branching plot elements of Mass Effect series and the graphics and the deep plot of, say, Half-Life, the combat sort of capabilities of, well, any of a number of games, really. And the graphics would have to be just mwah. And when I purchased this game, I had planned a really elaborate, long, drawn-out review of it with all kinds of, machinima built in from the game and video clips and screenshots and, brevity is the soul of wit and YouTube videos. So let me cut to the chase here. Duke Nukem Forever is Duke Nukem 3D, only more so. They added some other game mechanics from other games like the regenning health bar, or ego bar in this case, as apparently Duke's ego is so large it can protect him from bullets and explosives. And that does come across in the game, by the way. And where Duke 3D did have, the odd stripper that you could see every once in a while, or, some very pixelated naked women encapsulated in some kind of goo begging you to kill them, that did have that. Duke Nukem Forever does feature periodically women who are either scantily clad or not clad, all of whom just stepped out of the pages of Playboy, and all have intelligence levels just sub-average. And by average, I mean our average, because if you look at the overall intelligence levels of any of the characters in the game, they're all just sub-average as far as you can tell. Or maybe more correct to say they're all so stereotypical that you really can't buy into the character themselves, I don't think the developers would apologize for that either. I think they were going for a stereotypical, goofy kind of feel to the game that was just so over the top that you couldn't take it seriously, no matter what they did. I tried to read some sort of deeper meaning into it, like they were trying to extrapolate that if America continues as it is, in 100 years everyone would be kind of vapid and not really all that bright, but I think they just were going for the over-the-top thing. The game is definitely not for children. You do not want... I'm not sure I'm old enough to play this game. Not just for the nudity or for the swearing, and there's a lot of that. Though they did keep it just this side of where they would probably get in trouble and have to take it off the market or give it an NC-17 rating or something unpleasant like that. And then you can't hardly sell the thing anywhere. But at least when you're going through the hive and they have all of the kidnapped women and they're all naked and strapped to the walls and you have to kill them even though they're just crying for their daddy and weeping, and you're better off just blowing them up, just slugging them with a gun and knocking them out so that they die that way. It's just all just too disturbing. It's just wrong. By the way, if you don't kill the women, then they explode with aliens, and then the aliens come and try and kill you. So it's a game mechanic. The last scene with the twins is particularly disturbing. I'm not trying to put too many spoilers in this, but when they're all strapped up into the walls of the alien compound going, "Don't worry, Dookie, we'll lose the weight before they explode," yeah, that was just disturbing. On so many levels. Were they trying to make some sort of deep philosophical point with these scenes that women are objectifying themselves in this day and age and they're worried so much about their own appearance and what people think of them that perhaps at some point in the future this would be what you'd expect from everyone? I don't think so. I think they might have just been zipping along here and trying to make something a little bit over the top. But I could be wrong, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just not a lot of benefit. As far as gameplay goes, it plays pretty much like Duke Nukem 3D did. That has the same feel to it, which if that's what they're shooting for, and I see no reason to think they wouldn't be shooting for that, good job. That was a good job on that. Multiplayer feels pretty much like I remembered, although the maps really aren't optimized for it. The problem is that most of Duke's weapons are way overpowered. So every multiplayer game is a race to see who can get to a real weapon instead of your pistol. Then there's a good chance that you'll spend the rest of the game getting blown up at the spawn. The new capture the flag mode, or I mean capture the babe mode, is interesting, in which each side has this, scantily clad babe sitting on the other side of the map, and you have to go grab the babe and carry her back to your camp. The good news is she seems to be in on the game and seems to like it. Periodically, while you're carrying her, she tries to wave her hands in front of your face, and then you have to smack her on the tush just to get her to settle down. And yes, she seems to like that too. Oh, and also, the more points that you gain, the more stuff you can add to your house. You have a little, the Duke's Mansion is an actual place you can go through and look at things and not do much with, but you can look at things, and you can talk to your maids and flirt with them and do not much else. And I suppose it would be really cool if you could have other people come and check out your mansion and see how much stuff you've accumulated, but you can't do that either, I don't believe, at least not at the time of this filming. Still, an interesting mechanic that I think could be used in other games. It comes down to this: if you like the old Duke Nukem 3D, you'll like this about as much as you would playing Duke Nukem 3D now. It's a nice nostalgia trip. Provided, of course, that you don't get too hung up on the political incorrectness of it all. Some actually might view it as a kind of an escape, a vacation from the world of political correctness. Or even decency. Now, how would I rate this game? Let me tell you how I'm going to rate games in the future, from here on out. Rather than give the game a certain number of stars out of a total number of stars or something like that, let's have something real here. How much should you be willing to pay for this game? And I think 15 to 20 bucks is the most I'd go. If you get it for 10, that'd be even better. But 15 to 20 bucks I think is probably the right range for Duke Nukem Forever. You might have to wait a while to get there from the time of the filming of this video, but it will get there, I believe. If you specifically need a break from political correctness and you just want to play a game that makes you go, that is so wrong, this is your game. Until next time, have fun.